Hello, Dan Joss. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
So we've been talking about long-term care insurance.
That's right.
And I think we should talk a little bit more about it because we didn't talk about some of the different nuances of it, like expenses and payouts and
cost and benefits.
and ways to kind of manage some of those expenses. And we got choices in this, I suspect.
We do. We have choices. We have variables that we can control when we're trying to determine the benefit we want and how much we want to pay.
Right.
And then there are some things that are just what they are.
Okay.
So when we apply for a long-term care insurance policy, the insurance company will look at our age and our health.
Right.
And they'll say we're at high risk or low risk. And if we are at a very high risk, we may be uninsurable, which is why last time I mentioned mid-50s is a good time to look because we're relatively more healthy in our mid-50s than we are in our late 60s.
Okay. So
on average. So age and health is one factor. Sex. Women are generally more expensive to insure because they live longer. Right? They have a greater potential for needing the need later in life.
Okay.
Because the insurance company is now insuring that individual for a longer period of time, on average.
Right.
That's why. Marital status. Premiums are actually lower for married people than for single people.
Well, that's interesting. I guess that's because they have people who care about them.
I don't know. But 20 years ago when I started, you each had to get your own policy, but now there are joint policies.
Okay.
And so that's a way to benefit.
Gotcha.
Figuring the chances are that one of the two of you will need the insurance.
Okay.
Insurance companies have gotten creative in their knowing what people actually need, and they're pricing it right. And then it depends on the insurance company.
Okay.
They may insure certain risks and not others. And so when you get a quote for long-term care insurance, it may be beneficial to look at several carriers.
Right.
And depending on your specific risks, you may find one insurance carrier that's better at carrying and pricing that risk.
Okay.
And then the amount of coverage. How much do you want to benefit when you actually need your benefit?
That's a good question.
And that's a way to control costs. So if you want $10,000 a month, that would cost more than if you wanted $5,000 to cost when you started getting the benefit.
Right.
And so the amount of insurance is one thing that we can control. We can also control the benefit period. So when I start collecting long-term care, I mentioned last time that most people will need 2 years or less, but some people will need more than 5 years. Mm-hmm. And so when we buy insurance, we can say, I want 3 years or 5 years or 10 years of coverage.
Okay.
They used to have lifetime, and there may be some providers that offer it still, but it's prohibitively expensive.
Yeah.
Because life expectancy has increased. And another variable that we can control the premium with is just what's called in long-term care insurance lingo, the elimination period. And we kind of think of that as our car deductible. The amount we pay out before the insurance company pays us.
Right.
And we do that with time. So 30 days or 90 days or half a year or a year, I'm paying the coverage, I'm paying my need until that elimination period is over, and then the insurance company will start the payments.
That makes perfect sense.
It is.
Yeah.
Very, very simple.
Okay. So you've talked about benefits being paid out, and I just want to touch on this really quick because there's a benefit that I believe is associated with long-term care insurance that's paid out from the time that you first enroll in it, and that might be some peace of mind.
It is.
And I think that's an important piece to remember in this.
It is, because when you determine what your risks are and what that cost could be for late life care, passing some of that in risk to an insurance provider is great peace of mind.
Yeah.
What's sometimes frustrating for people is, well, I won't get it because I won't need it. Well, we all get car insurance.
And we hope we never
we never have to use it.
Right.
So in some sense it's like that, but it is peace of mind, and if you don't get it, we would recommend you at least ask the question.
Okay.
Like, should I get it, or why shouldn't I get it? And then put that question to bed. Say it's over, and I've decided to self-insure, and then we move on from that.
All right. And moving on, I should get your phone number and website for all of our listeners out there.
Phone number is 757-903-2127, and our website is jossbrown.com.
Excellent. I hope y'all will give them a call.